Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very extremely happy to have you all for a master class, the National Award winner Madhu Bhandarkar and Bollywood Hungama, very famous journalist Rayuddin.
Thank you.
Please give them a very warm welcome. And we're also happy to have legendary Amit Khanna ji with us. He's one of ours with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to all of you for this masterclass with National Award-winning filmmaker Madhu Bhandarkar, and it's a huge honor to have Mr. Amit Khanna with us in the audience. He's a legend, true legend as far as Indian movies are concerned, and even the world cinema, the sort of impact that he has had. And Madhuji, the less said the better, because he's not only a National Award filmmaker, he has made cinema that continues to grow. He has touched upon some very important subjects which are very close to life, and he has made them immortal. And at the same time, more importantly, he has always made sure that his films, apart from being realistic, they're also entertaining. So, huge honor to have you for this masterclass at Bollywood Festival Norway in Oslo. And so I was just going through your work since last few days, and you have this wonderful songs, which is Kitne Ajeeb Rishte Hain Yahan Par. Lata Mangeshkar ji, she has sung it. She is one of the, I think, finest singers in the world. And she sings very, very few songs these days, but she has always been kind with him. And this song is Kitne Ajeeb Rishte Hain Yahan Par, Do Pal Milte Hain, Saath Saath Chalte Hain, Jab Mode Aaye To Bach Ke Nikalte Hain. Which I think in many ways symbolizes and signifies his movies as well, that he talks about human relationships, the complexity of human relationships, and how it's important to find realism in that. And he never flinches from having climaxes and ends which are very realistic. He doesn't take an easier way out. So, is it fair to say that these lines just symbolize your cinema as well, your approach towards cinema as well? Relationships, the way you portray.
Well, thanks Faridun for the kind words you used for the initial introduction. Good afternoon everybody in Norway over here. It's a great pleasure to have all the dignitaries and Amitji in the audience, and Faridun you definitely. Well, when you said about Kitne Ajeeb Rishte Yahan Pe, so definitely it summarizes the relationship.
Right.
I would say not only in Bollywood, but in every sphere of life. I would say that everywhere which it is, relations are, like whenever I see television, you see a lot of relation or anything goes wrong, so they always play this song, Kitne Ajeeb Rishte Yahan Pe.
Absolutely.
For the celebrities or any relation I'm talking about.
Right.
So I think that's a very good thing about it, that it shows the real essence of relationship and the how things could just go haywire when the relations are not working between the two people or anything. It's not really necessary on a relationship or love story. It can be in friends also.
Absolutely.
So and the film industry is very fragile. So these kind of relation, your equation, your friends is navigated according to your box office success Friday to Friday.
Right. Absolutely. In fact, you have this dialogue. ये film industry है, यहाँ पे या तो manipulate कर लो या फिर हो जाओ. Which I think in a way summarizes well that what you've just said, and that it also depends on your box office stature, that how people react to. So you also have this, I would say, distinction, or that the fact that your films have always been controversial. Be it Jail, where you showed Neel Nitin Mukesh, he was frontal nudity was there, and it had to be snipped off. So you've had issues with censor over there. You've had a movie like Heroine, which ruffled many feathers, even amongst the media as well. You have this dialogue that about this entire film stars की friendship तुमसे नहीं तुम्हारी position से. You tell a journalist that film stars की friendship तुमसे नहीं तुम्हारी position, which is something which is very, very true as well. And now you have a movie like Hindu Sarkar, where you have ruffled the feathers of big politicians as well. Why is it that you have this relationship with the controversies with all your movies?
See, first and foremost, let me put it like that. When I make a film, I always feel like that. You have books. People write books on various subjects.
Yeah.
People write blogs on various subjects. People have made documentaries of various subjects. But when it comes to films, I don't know why there is always an issue for it. I mean to say, let's take about Hindu Sarkar recently, which I went to huge turmoil about how, all people wanted to, the party wanted to blacken my face. They issued a fatwa. They stopped my press conferences because I was making a film on emergency backdrop. Now tell me one thing, from 1975 to 2017, there are people who have written various books on emergency. Kuldeep Nair Saab, Komi Kapoor, so many people have written book on it. And
Aandhi has been made, Gulzar Saab has been
yeah,
made.
but that was not an emergency, I would say. It was just a backdrop of it. Emergency was, this movie is completely dedicated of emergency, and that also had to see a ban that time. So why you are not giving the same liberty when you give a filmmaker, I mean to say to the author, to a documentary filmmaker? Why not the same yardstick is given to a filmmaker to express his point of view regarding a film on emergency? Why are you stopping me for that? That is my problem. If you have to have the same yardstick, you cannot have, you can write a book, you can make a documentary, but film won't be allowed for it. That is the problem. And I went to this turmoil and I wanted to make this film because I feel that Hindu Sarkar is a documentation of coming generation, what happened during the era of 1975 to 77. So I really wanted to make the film because nobody had made a film. Personally for me, I make film which is very different, which is very contemporary, and I made film with Mumbai centric always. This was Hindu Sarkar, a film which was Delhi based, which I wanted to have. I've grown up in the 70s, watching movies and all. So I always been this thing, I wanted a retro look and all. That's the reason I made an emergency. Is a very potential, very vital subject in Indian context. It's necessary to have film. People have made film on Holocaust. People have made film on civil rights. So many films in abroad we see, foreign film cinema we see. So why the same yardstick is not given to a filmmaker?
You have this dialogue in the film where because at that point of time everything was censored, everything had to be monitored, and various organizations were monitored. You had spoken about communists and RSS in the same breath. So one can say that your approach was objective, that you're not taking any sides, but still at the same time there is a perception that maybe the fact that your closeness to certain political groups or ideology maybe, and that is why people had certain doubts.
See, let me put it like that. As a filmmaker, my film has been liked and loved by all section of people.
Right.
There won't be, BJP sees my movie or Congress sees my movie. I have friends in the Communist Party also, Shiv Sena also, BJP also, Congress also. In fact, Congress has given me awards also so many times. I am attending the functions also. And as now you're taking for the BJP, which is people have that thing, Madhur is a BJP supporter or he's a... See, I've always been vocal about my standing. When the whole industry had removed almost ordinance, please don't vote for Mr. Narendra Modi in 2014. So I, Anupam Kher, few people, Lata Didi, everybody, we stood for Mr. Modi and we said he is a person who should be given a chance, and we supported it. And I was very vocal, I tweeted about it. So any individual, I mean to say, you may support it, na? Like individually, in a lot of other parties, I may like an individual, but I may not prescribe to the ideology. You got a point?
Sure.
So you may be having friends also in BJP or a Shiv Sena, but you may not prescribe to ideology. No?
Absolutely.
So it's the same thing. So because my films have been watched, I've been attending their functions. So many times they go, they like my movie, they see my movie, they call me, I've kept show for them. So maybe that is a perception about it. Madhur is basically have a tilt towards the BJP. And this party, and that's why he is like making the film, or he's trying to, people thought about that like that. But it is nothing to do like that. I made films which was always been. I'm not somebody who just came a fly by night filmmaker who has just popped up from somebody, and you can ask question, who the hell is he? Ye kaun sa aadmi hai? It's because a lot of Congress people has cut aspersions. They said, "Kere, it's a sponsored thing. Why would I make such a small film by a sponsored thing? I would have made a big 40 crores film." Na? So this is something which they don't have proof, and they just go saying here and there about it. I made films. I have a trail of cinema which is being controversial, which is being talked about,
right.
which is being always. You only said, "Ke Madhur, your all films are very provocative and very strong." So I have a trail of cinema which I have made like that, this kind of cinema.
Right.
So people should have not got upset about it. Ki, let the film have a release. People should see. I have made a balanced film. After the film got released, people from Congress, they called me and they said, "Madhur, you balanced it very well. It was nothing objectified or something which you should derogatory about it. I'm a responsible filmmaker. I have my own reputation as a filmmaker. I know the kind of cinema I make about it. But why not a film on emergency? What's stopping people about it? Why you want to let freedom have this freedom of expression about it?"
Yeah, everyone should have a point of view. Hollywood, they make films, and even filmmakers, they have their political affiliations, and they make films according to that. So one should not have any issues with that. It's like it's a matter of
absolutely. You don't shop a book, na? You don't shop a book like you don't shop a documentary.
Absolutely.
Then,
right. Okay.